Boop. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, November the 9th, 2021. Today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 113, Genesis 24, 11 through 27, and then 1 Timothy 5, 9 through 16, or you could have read Psalm 94, Ruth 3, 14 through 4, 6, and then 1 Timothy 5, 9 through 16 again. I'm going to take a look at the text from Ruth and talk about what a deal I've got for you. So that's kind of the language I picture Boaz using as he comes up to his next of kin, somebody that he and Ruth's previous husband, the guy that died way back somewhere else, held in common. And because here's the story so far. Boaz loves Ruth. Really does love her. I think honestly loves her and really would like to marry her, but he also knows that there's this thing that he's got to take care of, because it's not just that he, all he has to do is marry Ruth. Ruth comes attached. She's attached to, still weirdly, oddly enough, her dead husband, but specifically to the land and the inheritance that he has. And so he can't just marry her because, it's complicated. So, he has to go and find, like the next of kin who's actually in line ahead of him to claim this property. He could claim it, but there's actually somebody who's like a closer relative and ahead of him in line that kind of has to turn it down first. So he had to get in line behind this guy and, make sure that he didn't have call dibs on the land. And consequently, Ruth, because, weirdness of Old Testament customs that we're not used to today and we look at and go, huh. So anyway, Boaz is pretty smart about this. He finds the guy and he makes sure that there's a group of witnesses around, and he comes up to him, he says, "Hey friend, sit down here," which should have been a notice to the guy. He should have warned him like, oh, something's up here. Boaz is up to something. So, but he's smart, makes sure that there's this group of witnesses around when he catches this guy. And he says, "I want to tell you about this great deal on some property I found for you, my friend." He said, "So, our cousin so-and-so that went, off, to the east with his buddy, like his dad and everything, and like they have this land, and well, the dude died, so the land is yours to claim as next of kin." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember cousin so-and-so. Yeah, I would love to have that land, as a matter of fact. Yeah, cool, free land. Let me have it." And Boaz does but wait, there's more. So not only do you get the free land, but you get the widow that comes with it. And the guy's like, "What?" Because the guy knows that the way that their law is set up, the way that their tradition is set up, not only does he inherit the land, but he inherits the widow of the dead man, and he has a responsibility as next of kin to provide an heir to his deceased relative. And so he doesn't just get the land. He wants the land. He's in love with the land. He loves the idea of getting more land. He doesn't necessarily want another wife hanging around. Much less does he want to share any of his inheritance with the offspring that he would provide for his dead next of kin's widow. Because part of that is then that, messes up his inheritance. And he says as much. Because he's like, what? He looks around, he sees all the witnesses there, and he's like, what? Thanks, but no thanks. You can have it, because I really don't want to mess up my inheritance. I'm in a weird enough tax bracket as it is, so you go ahead and you take the land and the wife that comes with it. See, here's the deal. Boaz was in love with Ruth. We know from the rest of the story, he didn't necessarily need the land. I mean, I'm sure that was great, but he was in love with Ruth. He wasn't in love with the land. The guy was in love with the idea of having more land. Didn't give a flip about Ruth. Anyway, that's the story for DBR today. Get out, enjoy the day, and we'll be back tomorrow. See you later. Boop.